kids, welcome to our little Grizzo TV.
The lighthouse keeper's daughter. At the edge of the world, where the sea kissed the sky, stood a tall, spiraling lighthouse. This was Isla's home. While her grandpa kept the great light shining, Isla filled her days with invention, turning washed-up treasures into wonderful, whirring contraptions. But even the cleverest gadget couldn't chase away the lonely echo in the tall, round rooms. One morning, after a wild storm had tossed the sea into a frenzy, Isla explored the shore. Tucked between two great gray rocks, she found a small bundle of shivering fur, hopelessly tangled in a green fishing net. It was a baby sea otter, his dark eyes wide with fright. Gently, patiently, Isla worked at the stubborn knots. The little otter watched her, wary at first. When the last loop of the net fell away, he didn't scurry back to the sea. Instead, he gave a soft chirp and nudged his wet nose into her hand. "I'll call you Ripple," she whispered, a smile spreading across her face. From that day on, the lighthouse was no longer lonely. Ripple was the perfect assistant and the perfect mischief maker. He would test Isla's inventions with surprising splashes, add a fishy scent to her blueprints, and turn the winding staircase into his own personal waterslide. But one evening, the sky turned the color of a deep bruise. A storm, fiercer than any Isla had ever seen, began to rage. The wind howled like a hungry wolf, and waves, tall as giants, crashed against the lighthouse walls, making the old stone tremble. Suddenly, with a deafening crack and a groan of metal, the great light at the top of the tower sputtered and died. Darkness flooded the storm. Far out at sea, Isla could just make out the tiny light of a fishing boat, tossed by the waves, heading straight for the treacherous Dragon's Tooth rocks. "The turning gear is jammed," Grandpa cried. I can't make the climb in this gale." Isla's heart pounded. Then her eyes lit up. She raced to her room and unrolled the plans for her most ambitious invention yet, the automatic cookie deliverer. It was a wild, wonderful chain reaction of pulleys, levers, and weights designed to send a biscuit from the kitchen to the lamp room. It was their only hope. "We need to get this oil can to the top," she explained to Ripple. They worked as a team. Isla positioned the gears and balanced the weights, but the final release lever was in the flooded storeroom. Without a word, Ripple dove into the churning water, a rope in his mouth, his sleek body a determined arrow in the dark. He tugged the rope, and the great contraption sprang to life. A bowling ball rolled, a toy boat sailed, a cuckoo clock cuckooed, and finally, a can of oil tipped over, dripping right into the jammed gear. With a groan and a shudder, the giant lamp began to turn, its powerful beams slicing through the storm once more. The next morning, the sea was as calm as glass. From the top of the lighthouse, Isla and Ripple watched the little fishing boat sail safely into the harbor. The world felt bigger and brighter than before. With a clever mind and a brave friend, Isla knew there was no storm they couldn't weather together. The Little Helpers of the Garden. In a garden bursting with colorful flowers lived a tiny bee named Buzzy. Buzzy loved his home, but he had a little problem. Whenever the children from the big house came out to play, they would see him and shout, "A bee! Run!" and scamper away as fast as they could. One sunny morning, a little girl named Mia was in the garden, smelling a beautiful pink rose. Buzzy flew over to a nearby daisy to collect some nectar. Mia saw him, and her eyes grew wide. "Oh no, a bee," she whispered, and started to back away. Buzzy saw that Mia was scared and buzzed as gently as he could. "Please don't be afraid," he hummed. "I promise I won't hurt you. I'm just very busy with my work." Mia stopped and looked at the little bee in surprise. "Your work?" Mia asked, taking a tiny step closer. "What kind of work does a bee do?" Buzzy puffed out his chest with pride. "I'm a pollinator," he buzzed. "It's a very important job. I fly from flower to flower, sipping the sweet nectar," Buzzy explained. "As I do, a special yellow dust called pollen sticks to my fuzzy body. When I visit the next flower, some of the pollen falls off. This helps the flowers make seeds to grow new flowers. Mia's mouth made a little O of surprise. So you're the reason the garden is so full of beautiful flowers? She asked. That's right, Buzzy buzzed happily. And that's not all. We bees help grow lots of the food you eat too, Buzzy said. The juicy strawberries, the crunchy apples, and even the pumpkins you see in the autumn. They all need our help to grow big and yummy. Mia smiled a big, bright smile. Wow, she said. You're not scary at all. You're like a tiny garden superhero. Buzzy did a happy little wiggle in the air. We just love to help things grow, he buzzed. And what about honey? Mia asked. My grandpa puts it in his tea. Buzzy chuckled. That's our special treat. We make it from the nectar we collect. It's our food for the winter, but we are happy to share it with you. From that day on, Mia was never afraid of bees again. When she saw Buzzy and his friends buzzing around the garden, she would wave and say, "Thank you for your hard work, little helpers." And Buzzy would buzz back, happy to have a new friend in the garden.